Yeah.
It made me happy to be back with the worst of all people, and the signs. This is what interests me about, like, if we would ever see Abraham and everyone arrive, is what signs did they see? How did they end up in the train car? Because Rick is clocking, because he's in this heightened state of awareness and fight or flight after the claimers. He sees all these things that, to be fair, are not that hidden. Like, you could see them if you just had eyes. But the orange backpack, the pawn show, the riot gear,
Yeah.
Glenn's watch, like, these are all things that he's clocking and
Hmm.
realizing that things are not what they seem.
And I guess the termites, I don't know, was it stupid of them to have those out in the open? Maybe they didn't know that these people in the train car had friends that were coming. I don't know.
Yeah. I liked as well when they were taking the weapons and they were talking about Daryl's injuries and they're like, hate to see the other guy. And someone says he deserved it. And Carl's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, yeah, he did deserve it.
Mhm.
But yeah, the termites saying they have nothing to hide. And in a way they don't, because they don't hide it that long, but it's
It's a
just creepy
lie.
as fuck.
Yeah.
It's a lie. It
Yeah.
is a lie. And when he talks about Alex talks about people arriving at Terminus, like, oh, I think it was instinct. I'm like, nah, it was a trap. Like, yeah, it was instinct at first that people would come
Yeah.
to this intersection, but now it's the funnel.
He says it was a path. So it was already
Yeah.
like a natural funnel, but
Hmm.
now they're adding to it with these signs and these radio calls and everything.
Do you think they integrate anyone at Terminus, or do you think everyone's food?
They integrate everyone. Yeah.
We become stronger at our
That's
startup,
right.
Terminus.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what he
yeah.
said. That the more people become a part of us, we get stronger. Ah, cannibal humor. But no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this trauma that they all experienced together bonded them together, and everyone else in the world is an outsider. That's my sense of it, if I had to
That would
guess.
make sense. I really hope that Rick and the gang empty the other shipping containers before they leave because they go past two.
All
They're like,
right.
oh my God, there's people, rah, 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 rah," and I'm like, oh, there's people.
Here, help me.
But also, then when Rick gets to the train car, I'm like, was the door just open the whole time or did they unlock it recently? Because I was like, he just opens the door.
That's right. That's
Maybe
right.
it's only
Yeah.
openable from the
Yeah.
outside.
I bet
That
you.
would make sense.
Do you
Yeah.
did you notice when they were running, they ran past a big pile of human skeletons glistening with like ligaments and stuff?
Blink and you'll miss it. It's so good.
Yeah,
You're just
it's
like, what the fuck?
gross.
Oh my
I
God.
freeze
Like,
framed
it's
it and I
so
was like,
dark.
ew.
Oh, it's so grim, but brilliant. That's me kind of re-yammering about Terminus sort of stopped, but I've only kind of gone a little
Yeah.
into it, so take it away, man.
Okay. So yeah, then, I mean, they heard them with gunfire, and I read that's like they heard cattle around corners so they don't see that
Yeah.
they're being led to the slaughter.
Yeah.
And so it was very much inspired by that. Gareth is the handler who's handling the cattle, and they even, I guess, line them up with the calves in the back for some reason, because that's easier for the older cattle not to freak out or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, when they run through that room with a bunch of candles, remembering, I think, those that they lost that we're going to learn about next episode,
Mhm.
I'm like, who keeps 100 candles lit in the
It seems like
apocalypse?
a lot of admin and a big fire hazard, if I'm
Yeah,
honest.
I always feel like candle scenes with lots of candles like that, it takes me out of it because I can't help but think,
By the time you'd lit
where
the
do they
final one, the
get all
first
those
one would have gone out.
candles? Yeah. But on the walls, never again, never trust. We first, always. We had that as a panel stage backdrop at Walker Stalker for a long time. It's
Amazing.
kind of cool.
I love that.
And then just the whole sequence by the A train, Gareth shouting commands in this orderly way. Ringleader, go to your left. The train car, go. Now the archer, now the samurai. That seems very Gimply to me. I doubt Angela Kang wrote that part, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why exactly, but this just feels like a special moment in The Walking Dead. Just the way he has such control over them, and he's labeled them these names that are actually kind of cool. Like Kirk Manley he used to do tribute posters of each episode, and this one's my favorite. It has the ringleader, the archer, the kid, the samurai on there.
Yeah. I think I like to interpret Michonne's face because she kind of like her lip twitches when he says it, like she's really mad. I bet she's like, damn, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like-
At least he gave it a cool name. Then in the train car, we see everyone else: Glenn, Maggie, Sasha, Bob, Tara, Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita. I read Morgan was originally going to be in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I read.
Oh, that would be
Because
cool.
now that made me wonder when does he come back? Does he come back next season? I forget. I think maybe we start seeing him next season a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I had read that he nearly turned up at the end of this episode, but I think he turns up at the end of 5-1, doesn't he? Like that shot of him on the tracks.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, I was wondering if it was a mistake to put them all in the same train car together, but I guess it doesn't matter in the end. I mean, Glenn still ends up at the trough somehow. I
Yeah.
don't remember exactly what happens next episode, but then Rick saying they're fucking with the wrong people or they're screwing with the wrong people just means like he's now owning this killer instinct that he has fully.
Oh yeah.
And that's why this is a great cliffhanger. Even
Yeah.
though our characters are in great peril, we just saw Rick do something really brutal and now he's like amped to fight these guys and we're like,
Mhm.
all right, how are they going to get out of it? I hope no one dies. I don't think anyone does die. Well, Bob, I guess soon after, but anyway, it's more like, oh my God, I can't wait to see how they get out of this. Whereas the cliffhanger at the end of season 6, Negan has his line up with his bat and we see him beat someone to death. And now we're just waiting to find out which people that we care about is dead. That's no
Awful.
fun.
And that was the ad campaign. The ad campaign for the season. I remember the billboards over here. It was like, "Who will it be?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, no one wants that." Like, gross.
Yeah.
I like there was something Andy Lincoln did with the way he delivered the line as well when he said to Glenn, it was like, "You're here," and then he's like, "You're here," and it's like he's clicking in his mind, like, we can get out of this because this is the team we've built. And I was like, subtle chef's
I
kiss
like it.
perfection. It's so good.
Yeah.
And the whole mind fuck of getting them in the train car with Carl being left to last.
Yeah.
And just this tension of like what the fuck is gonna happen
Lining
right
up.
now.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's just really
so
good. Yeah. I've never seen, I think maybe one reason why I liked it is because I've never seen anything quite like that before. I don't think.
Yeah. The way that they're picked out and isolated and the people turning up at the fences all armed, and it's something else. It's the first kind of mega force they've come up against, because like Woodbury was big, but they were fairly well matched to the prison in terms of capacity. Like they had more stuff, but they were regular schmucks fighting regular schmucks kind of thing. Whereas this is like, oh fuck, something's going on here.
It's also like they're not well matched. Like they could have just mowed them down, but instead they're herding them into a train car. What the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
I know. Part of me was like, we need to shit them.
No, but I mean, they need to just keep them fresh until it's dinner time.
And seeing the like milk packets outside, like the way they feed their, oh my God, it's so grim, like fattening up the victims. Ugh.
I want to talk a little bit about why this episode is called A. The train car is labeled A, and there's an A by the door in the remembrance room, but I think that's just because that leads to the A train platform. And it made me think of A Train. That's a thing. Like, I was like, A Train's a character on The Boys. He's a speedster.
Oh.
And so where did that name come from? And so I looked it up. A Train is a subway in New York known for its speed. It goes to Harlem. I think it's one of the fastest. And there's a jazz song, if you want to get to Harlem, hop on the A Train. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it just means in the jazz song, they're going to a good place. And here they turn that on their head because they're headed to the bad place. It could be as simple as that. But I don't usually get into crazy, uncorroborated theories. I don't tend to like those. But with this one, because it's Gimple and it's a very Gimply title, I wonder, like later in the series, we get this big military group, the CRM, and it designates captives as either A's or B's. And it took us a long time to figure out what that is. But we learned, I don't know if we ever actually said this, but I think it's just alpha and beta, like alpha person, beta person. Alphas have leadership qualities. They're unwilling to be controlled, while B's or maybe betas are considered more ordinary compliant. Right. And I wouldn't be surprised if Gimple already had something like that in his head with this title, because it fits into the theme of having a killer instinct and using that to survive. An A is someone who will do what it takes to survive, who's not subservient or compliant, has a killer instinct. Who's someone who's the wrong person to be fucking with is an A. That's why they don't want A's. And later, Gareth and his people next season mark a bloody A on the church where Rick and them are after they kidnap Bob, amputate his leg, and leave him outside the church. That could just be
Mm-hmm.
Gareth mocking them, reminding them that he had held them in that A train car. But also, it could be like, we're alphas, not you. You're not the only one with
Mm-hmm.
teeth, or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I don't know. He has this weird, peculiar, distinctive writing style where he likes recurring motifs, like people saying we're the ones who live throughout the seasons later, or cryptic symbols like the X scars on Michonne and Daryl's backs. And this A could be a symbol of them being captive in the train, but also of Rick's transformation into someone who's dangerous,
Oh,
non-compliant, unbreakable. I don't know. That could all be
interesting.
nothing, but I feel like it's still worth considering, given that it's a theme of this episode. Like A could mean someone with a killer instinct,
I like it.
something
I
like
like
that.
it. And there's a scene in Alexandria where they write A on their hands, like one of the kids does it, and it's like, you're one of us now. And I'm like, "Hmm."
Oh yeah, maybe they're the alpha kids.
Maybe the kid was a CRM narc.
I forgot about that.
Oh, that'd
Yeah,
be
I wish I could
amazing.
ask Gimple about all this. I think I might have his email address. I'll email him and see if he
Dear
answers.
Scott,
Yeah,
how are you?
seriously.
Sorry that we occasionally drag you on our podcast. We still like you. Anyway, could you answer some questions for us, please? Thank you. I think he'd do it. I think he's
He
weird enough
might.
that he
Yeah,
would do it. And I mean weird as a compliment
me
there. I'm
too.
like, I
Yeah,
think he
so
would.
do I when I said it too. Yeah,
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay, notes.
Tara looks embarrassed in the train car, which still makes me laugh. Tara's like, "Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm here too. Oops."
She's just feeling guilty all the time. Yeah,
She's just feeling guilty. You would.
yeah,
And at this point, Glenn hasn't outed her to Maggie as being part of the governor group, so I think
yeah.
she is feeling a bit like,
She's
oh,
like the only the big reminder anyway of the governor. Like I wouldn't even
yeah,
be thinking about him at all, except for her.
yeah. I loved seeing Tiny Judith, a new baby's casting, I think, and I did read that they actually shot all the prison flashbacks before they shot the fall of the prison because of how filming worked. So it was quite nice to think about the actors going back to do that after having done some of the things that they did in the later parts of the
Oh,
season.
I read
Yeah.
they shot that last because they all had to get their haircuts back to where it was before. So I don't know.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't
I
know.
will
Maybe
check
I'm
my
wrong.
IMDb sources. I like that Michonne said Small Rabbit traveled well. And yeah, Rick getting interrupted by the claimers. It's just this lovely moment that's broken.
I bet
Joe
you're
saying
right
to,
because I feel like they probably struck the set of the
yeah,
prison in between, these seasons, but I
yeah,
don't know.
that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. I thought that Joe saying today's the day of reckoning, sir, sounded very Negan. In many ways, Joe is a very good prelude to Negan, and an
Yeah.
actor like that might have been a more interesting choice to play the character, like someone a bit less visually likable. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Not that Joe's, he's got a good head of hair, like not the worst looking guy, I guess, but like,
yeah.
yeah, I think having Negan be more physically imposing and more,
Mm.
I don't know, it was interesting to look at it with the two scenes in their mind.
He'd be great, but I do, as much as I drag Negan, I think Jeffrey D. Morgan really nailed the part.
Yeah, he did, especially in the early days,
Yeah.
like those first
Yes.
scenes. It's funny that they're forced back onto the tracks because Carl goes to help someone. And that is what kind of he runs to help this guy who gets his eye bitten.
That scene was my least favorite part of it because I didn't
The
really
guy got his eye bit.
understand why it was there. Are you talking about the scene with the guy in the middle of all the zombies out in the field?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the guy with
because
the glasses.
it was like you lived your whole life and 2 years into the apocalypse, and now you found yourself in the middle of a field surrounded by zombies. How did that happen? It just seemed like a lazy setup. Like, we need a guy in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, just stick him in this field with zombies around. And then I didn't quite understand what it was there for. Maybe you just said
Yeah.
like that was how they got back onto the tracks and they wouldn't have otherwise or something.
Also, I did wonder if there was some foreshadowing because the guy gets his eye eaten, and Carl's gonna lose an eye in a
Oh,
season,
yeah, they
season or
keep,
two.
I mean, maybe because they do try to tease things in the comics, like in the next episode, the guy holding the bat over Glenn's head.
Yeah. The idyllic, and the final thing is just the idyllicness of the farm scenes are quite funny. Like this kind of mishmash family of Rick and Beth and Herschel and Judith and Carl, and Rick saying I've got to go, and Herschel insisting no, you don't. You know, this kind of you don't need to leave. You can live a different way. One thing that really made me laugh was when Herschel goes to wake Rick up, and then he's like, "He's decent," and like Beth comes in. It's like Southern dad, like
Yeah.
old fashioned, like,
Hmm.
"Oh, he is clothed. He's not in a state of undress," and like I just thought that was quite funny that
Yeah.
Beth's like,
Little moments like
"Oh,
that are good.
okay." It's
Human
cute, and it's
moments. Yeah.
very Herschel, and very Beth in a way as well.
Hmm.
Yep, that's me. I have my IMDb dive in the timeline, but otherwise I am complete, as we now say on Zoom calls.
Okay, let's see. Mm, when Herschel told Rick he wanted help with something and Rick started to put his gun belt on and Herschel said, "You're not going to need that." I thought
Yeah.
of Luke and Yoda and the cave at Dagobah, where he tells him to
Yes.
go in and takes his lightsaber and Yoda's like, you will not need your lightsaber, you will not need, or whatever he says.
I wonder if Scott Wilson did a take like that.
I think that's all I had.
Mm. Well, IMDb says nothing that interesting. Basically, the thing about in the TV version originally it was they're screwing with the wrong people. They shot two different takes of Rick saying the lines, and the one that we've hopefully all seen is they're fucking with
I
the wrong
remember,
people.
yeah, because I didn't believe that. I heard they did, and I don't know why, but I didn't believe it. So then when I eventually did hear Rick say it, I was kind of delighted.
Yeah, it was great. I was like, bah! This episode contained a flashback to Judith Grimes when she was younger. Twins Delia Oland and Sophia Oland were used to portray her. This one's a bit wacky. Carl hears someone calling for help. He, Rick, and Michonne get there in time to see a walker eating a man's eye from his head. This was a contradictory reference to a song by Jonathan Coulton, Re Your Brains, about zombies, which includes in the chorus the lines, "All we want to do is eat your brains. We're not unreasonable. I mean, no one wants to eat your eyes." There you go. Zombie
Maybe
lore.
someone who likes that song thought of
Yeah.
that, and maybe it's BS. I don't know, but that is a great song, by the way. And if I wasn't worried about copyright strikes, I would play it now.
I knew you would know it. I was like, Jason will
It
know the
is. We
song. I
played
do
it on the
not know it.
podcast
He will know
before. All
it.
we want to do is eat your brains.
Was originally intended to feature Morgan at the end of the episode. The scene of the attempted assault of Carl and Rick biting Joe's neck is almost an exact panel from the Walking Dead comic book. The only difference is Abraham is in this scene in the comics in place of Michonne in the show, and Daryl does not appear in the comic series.
And
So
I think Rick and Abraham have a heart-to-heart talk, kind of like Rick and Daryl did.
I think it. I wouldn't. I like it the way it is in the show.
Yeah.
I think if I had to pick,
It's just such a great moment.
and IMDb loves to say like features the death of, so R.I.P. Joe and the Claimers. They die. That sounds like a cool band though, Joe and the Claimers.
Yeah, I know. I think we've said
Like
that before.
I'd listen to
yeah.
them. Timeline wise, so the prison fell on January 30th, which was day 524. On February 4th, Abraham and everyone arrived at Terminus. On February 5th, day 530, that's when Rick, Carl, and Michonne and Daryl are in the altercation with the Claimers. So by the time we all get to Terminus on day 531, it's February the 6th. And it's been about a week since the prison fell. So not much time at all. And in this episode, Rick mentions that he's still recovering from injuries in this episode. And I was like, that's nice continuity because he did get beaten up quite bad by the governor.
Yeah, even though it was probably like 3 days ago and he should definitely be in the hospital.
Yeah, he should pretty much be pretty dead by now, but it's fine. Cool.
Only on The Walking Dead would you not want to eat a plate of meat right away.
I was literally going to say only on The Walking Dead would you refuse barbecue.
That's good.
Obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens.
The people it kills get up and kill.
Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is a Walking Dead cast news update.
I don't know if I will ever not laugh at that line. It's just
I
so
know, right?
funny. Netflix is losing 3 Walking Dead spinoffs on August 19th. They'll be losing all 8 seasons of Fear the Walking Dead, season 1 of The Daryl Show, and The Ones Who Live. So I guess
that's a
whatever
shame.
deal they had with AMC is over. They're losing some other AMC shows too.
Yeah, it didn't ever get on Netflix over here. So
Oh,
I think
we don't
Amazon
have the
maybe owns it
same
over here.
Maybe it'll
Not
stay
sure.
on Amazon for a while. I hate, the thing about streaming that sucks is when the shows go away. Like, I don't think you can stream Westworld anywhere now. It's like,
No,
whoa.
and it's really weird because it varies from country to country.
Yeah.
Like I was in Switzerland last week and I put on my Netflix and I was like, oh, you can watch that here. I think it was Hacks. I was like, oh, I didn't start it because I was like, well, I can't finish it when I go back to the UK. So
I watched the first episode, pretty good. I'll probably watch that at some point.
yeah, I've heard so many good things. I really want to start watching it properly.
Variety talked with Bella Ramsey, talked about being number 1 on the call sheet after Pedro Pascal, he's a pal, his exit from Last of Us. They said being number 1 on the call sheet as an actor is like you're the head of the acting department. There's something in that responsibility that I really enjoy and sort of dictate in a way how the environment that cast members are coming into. I think I wrote this wrong, but anyway, I just thought it was cool that Bella Ramsey's just like owning it. I like this. I get to sort of set the tone for the whole thing.
Good for Bella.
We know Andrew Lincoln did that for The Walking Dead.
Yeah, he really did.
About Neil Druckmann leaving The Last of Us TV show, Bella said, "The world of The Last of Us is his creation, and so his voice and creative input. It doesn't just go away in season 3 because he's not as actively involved. It will always be his creation, and we're always in everything that we do, honoring the game and Neil's creation. He'll definitely be missed on set, but his spirit is the story." So,
Okay.
taking it positively as they can, but I hope that they're right about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so.
And last thing, they asked about whether Ellie's in season 3, and if so, how much. And Bella Ramsey said, "I sort of know, but I can't tell you."
Oh,
So,
okay.
being secretive. I'm guessing that they're in it, at least some.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because from what we've read, they don't even know for sure whether The Last of Us will go 1 or 2 more seasons. So if it only goes 1 more season, then Ellie's going to be in it more.
I would assume that is the case.
Really? Just 1 more? Not 2?
1 or 2. I guess it depends on where the game gets to.
I could see, knowing the game very well, I would say they could do it either way. But if they do it in 1 more season, it's going to have more than 7 episodes. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to listener moans, groans, and grunts.
Dobalino Bob Grippy says Carl should have scarfed the whole plate of food while he had the chance before Rick screwed
That's what we
everything up.
said, yeah.
Slaps a plate of food out of the guy's hand and starts accusing people. Way to go, buddy. Hashtag beware Rick Grimes. Hashtag don't let Rick Grimes in and stay safe.
That's funny.
Yeah, you speak my mind, Bob. Honestly, you're right. Can't criticize.
Because in one of the Zedhead chats, we're talking about how Rick Grimes is a new character in the Dead by Daylight game that people play sometimes.
Oh, cool.
And so is Michonne, and you can play as Daryl. And somebody was saying, I think it was Peg, like, if you hang out with Rick, you're probably going to die or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you see him, like in 28 years later, if you see him coming across the causeway, do not let him in. You'll be fucked.
We just ask him, is this a TV show?
Yeah. I'm like, really?
Are we on a TV show? Deborah Ulmer says, "Hi, Jason and Lucy. I've always labeled this and the last 2 episodes as the 3-part Terminus story. It's mainly centered around about our group finding each other piece by piece and coming back together, changed by their separate experiences. Then they have this ultimate reunion, Sans Beth, ready for their next chapter, moving forward with each other. It makes sense why this is a lot of the fandom's favorite era of The Walking Dead. Y'all have a good one and take care." Yeah, I was kind of saying last week, one of the good things about having all these stories with just a few characters, and we don't see all of them all the time, is that when they do come back together, it's really cool to, I finally get to see these people I've been missing,
It's such a catharsis.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's a call from Randy.
Randy.
Hey guys, it's Randy here. I just wanted to, you know what kind of grinds my gears is after I podcasted a week or two ago. Right after that, I went out and I have been chasing the car that I thought Lucy was in. But imagine my surprise when, after running for a week and listening to podcasts, I suddenly hear Lucy's voice on the last episode. Apparently got out of the car at some point. So now yeah, see, this family that I've been chasing is terrifying. I'm sorry. I thought you had Lucy in your trunk. I know that doesn't make any sense. Have you heard of the Walking Dead cast? Here, look, stop screaming. Give me your phone. Look, I'll subscribe. It's a great podcast. It's about the Walking Dead. They're doing a rewatch. You'll love it. You'll maybe understand this situation a little bit better. Okay,
oh my God.
Well, I just wanted to let you guys know that I did not give up my search for Lucy, and, great, here come the police. Well, guess I liked this episode. I wish I had time to tell you more. Maybe I'll give you a call next week from prison. Bye.
Oh my God.
Bye.
Bye. Randy.
Oh, Randy.
That's so nice of you to look for me.
Yeah, and to subscribe
sorry
people to the podcast, even better.
Yeah, sorry you're going to prison, mate.
It's
I'll
worth
maybe
it.
come visit. I'll see. Where's Randy? He's gone. Okay, next thing. That was amazing. I was like, he sounds like he's in a car. Andy Fisher says, A, are you an A or a B? I'm sad that you're finishing up the great season 4 of The Walking Dead. Thanks again for the wonderful podcast. There were 3 things that really stood out in my mind of this episode. 1, Carl's whispered speech confession to Michonne that he is just a monster too. I've always been confused by that line, but I chalk it up to a confused-ass teenager not knowing his left or his right amid the zombie apocalypse. 2, the idea or rationalization around Terminus and the termites. I think these are wonderfully complicated villains, and they're twisted, necessary, rational, complicated / morality. These villains are like trap spiders that create traps, and when other bugs come in, they trap them in and eat them. Terminus, indeed. 3, Rick's almost Churchill-like speech at the end of the episode. Such a moving, heroic call against despair. No, they're going to feel real stupid when they find out they're fucking with the wrong people. The best line of the season, no, the best line of the whole series ends season 4. Was I the only one that was screaming, what the fuck happens next? The cliffhanger to end all cliffhangers.
Yep.
5 pizzas in the wedding ring?
Appropriate for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's a great episode. Matt King says, well, that was an eventful episode. Getting ambushed by the Claimers and the group getting a beat down. Then Rick goes feral and channels his inner Mike Tyson to get a taste of Joe. Hannibal Lecter would have been proud. Once again, Rick is the factor in the drama, having strangled Lou previously, leading into the Claimers hunting for him. Now, by spotting the watch, it turns the termites on them. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I wonder how the termites... We don't really get to see their usual MO. Like, we know they greet people at the front, give them a plate of food, yada, yada, yada. They end up in the train car. So do they just turn their guns on them? Or maybe okay, you need to give us all your weapons once they've gained their trust, and then they turn their guns on them. It'd be interesting to... They
just tell Glenn there's candy in there. They're like, Glenn, there's candy in there.
We want to show you something cool.
Like, okay.
Go in the train car.
Yeah. It's right at the back. Bit further.
Clang. Matt says, maybe if Rick wasn't there, many more may have survived. I mean, I don't know, Matt. He saw that all his friends' belongings were there. And also many more have survived. I mean, no one died. Right?
Yeah.
No one died. So, I don't know.
Not from the group.
Not here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe more of the bad guys would have survived. That's true. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Anyway, it did lead to the majority of the gang finally getting to meet up again in the train car, which was ideal. It's always at its best when the cast are brought together. Always good to have the main characters rejoin like this. If only we knew where Carol was. I mean, we need her out because she's crucial. A great line to finish. They're screwing with the wrong people, and we're done for another season. Now we have them as an 11-season box set. It's so easy to go watch the next. But back in the day, that was a case of waiting another year for the next episode.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was what? It would end in like March, I think, and then, or April, and then start again in October, May, June, July, August, September. So like 6 months, actually. Great episode overall, and laid the groundwork for the season 5 opener, which is right up there with the best episodes of the show. Totally.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's hear what Steve Brown has to say.
Oh, man, live Steve.
Hello, the cast of us. This is Steve, and here we are. We are at the season finale of season 4, A. Just A. Oh, and we're flashing back to the prison. Oh, that's right. This is the one with Rick and the claimers, and here he is at the car, and this is a flash forward to the end of the episode. This is a spoiler-full podcast, and you've already watched the episode, so. I just noticed Scott Wilson in the main credits. Oh, ew, that poor guy getting his face eaten.
Yeah.
Can't help him. But, ew. When Michonne and Rick talking about Terminus and they hear something in the woods, but even Michonne's a little suspicious. Ooh, Claimer Joe and his group have found them. Yeah, they grabbed Carl, and now it's on, boys. The headbutt and the gun going off. Oh, the throat rip out with his teeth. Rick getting serious with the knife on that guy. Oh, the hope in Herschel's voice, and we're about planting and getting the pigs, and now we see the difference in the way Rick's group approaches. They're going to sneak in. Determinus, I mean. And it looks like Rick is fully cleaned up. Even got his hair is, like, clean. And Rick is burying a bag of guns with his Colt Python, just in case. We meet Gareth for the first time, and he's trying to be nice, and Rick is trying to be nice. When they are giving up their weapons, and now they're being frisked, but they're letting them have their weapons back. Oh, and Rick just saw the orange backpack. And Glenn's riot gear, Maggie's strappy, and the watch. And then the shooting starts. Oh, there was an A above that door they just ran through. Of course, they aren't shooting them. They're leading them somewhere, forcing them somewhere. And more A's in the building. And now this candle-filled room. Yeah, I wonder if there was a fire marshal on set for this. Oh, yeah, the ringleader, the archer, the samurai, and the kid. I don't even remember. This is one of the few. I think I watched these on Blu-ray. I have the Blu-ray discs, and I watched them before season 5 premiered. And they're all together again. Almost all, and a few new people. How cute is Emily Kinney with that hat on? Yeah, because it was the first time I heard the F word from this show was when I was watching it on disc. On to season 5.
They've done a lot more of that since.
Oh, Steve. I love a live Steve.
So Beth got the hat, but she didn't keep it for long, right? Who has it? Who has it now? I guess Judith has it, right? At the end. By the end.
I think so. Billy Thompson says, hello. Hope you guys are as well as yesterday. And if you weren't, I hope you are today. Thanks, Billy. I'm feeling good. What an interesting question, Carl asks Rick. Are we going to tell him everything that's happened to us, all the stuff we've done? How much do you reveal to other survivors? Obviously, it depends on the relationship, but everyone that's still alive has done something to survive they never would have done pre-zombie apocalypse. I can't imagine how paranoid you'd be to reveal too much, or someone reveal that they did something that makes you see them in a completely different light. We see this play out when they eventually meet Gabriel. It just never occurred to me how mental it would actually be. I think the way Rick handles the claimers was giving them exactly what they deserved. They were right. They really were the most vile kind of people. But do you think it was right to continue the violence after the threat was gone in front of Carl? Was it to teach him a lesson, or was he so far gone in that moment he didn't realize Carl was watching? I think the latter. The flashbacks are used so well in this episode, showing from where they were at the prison how they've had to go back to pre-prison survivors. This rewatch, it makes a lot more sense to me why Rick and some others struggle to settle so much when they eventually get to Alexandria. What a fantastic episode of The Walking Dead. I'm so happy I've got this community to share my thoughts with this time around, and love hearing everyone else's. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
You know, you made me think of the line where Rick is talking about in this episode where he says he's not used to having to think about food again and things like that, and being back on the road. And yeah, it is an adjustment. It's a bit of a culture shock for them, really.
Yeah, right. And also just wondering how much to disclose to people about what you've done. You know, it's like we go around with those kind of little things in life, like, oh, I wonder if this person would understand this thing that I like or that I do, or my political affiliation or whatever. And now it's more like, oh, I've killed 10 people. I wonder if they've killed 10 people.
Yeah, you're like, how many? Oh, yeah, normal. No, they usually get the usual amount.
Yeah, it's not how many people have you slept with. It's how many people have you brutally murdered.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, how many?
That's what you ask on a date in The Walking Dead. Okay. Carly Jackson has a call. Here it is.
Carly.
Hi, Jason and Lucy. This is Carly in Santa Fe, and I have to say this season finale is probably the best of the whole series. Maybe we can have a poll or something to decide what people think. But
I think so. Best season finale.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's just such tight storytelling. I love the bit in the beginning when Rick is showing Carl the snare, and then later on, you realize that they are being ensnared, like they are being herded to go to that train car. And just the callback to the beginning of the season where Rick, he had to, when he was living in the prison, he had to let go of his like protector identity to become a farmer. And then at this point, he has to let go of his farmer identity to be the protector again. And then we'll see that come back again when they're in Alexandria, how he has to let go of his persona from being on the road. It's so intense. And I really like thinking about that. Like we take on, what do we take on as a persona? And then we can let it go when we no longer need that anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. No, that's what I was saying.
Oh, it's so great. I mean, I understand why so many listeners they want to start the next season right away, because at the end you're like, you know that our group is in trouble, but you also know that they're just gonna kick ass, and it's just like you just get so pumped up, and yeah, it's exciting to wait and see like how they're just gonna prevail. So anyway, so the end of such a great season. Not really looking forward to some of the seasons coming up, but we'll carry on. Okay, bye.
I'm looking forward to Aaron coming into it.
Yeah, he's a good one. Yeah. I really do like Aaron a lot. He became a real integral part of the cast, really, didn't he?
Yeah, there's so many people who we haven't even met yet that are going to be really core.
Yeah, it's nice. We're coming into a shift.
All right. Last one here is Josie Bowen-Echtel, who says, I love Daryl and Rick's talk in this episode. You're my brother. Can we please get a Daryl Rick reunion at the end of the Daryl Dixon season 4? Praying hands. What a fucked up encounter with the Claimers. I appreciate this exchange because Rick is willing to do whatever it takes to protect Carl, even if it's horrid. We see it still haunts him all these years after in The Ones Who Live. I love watching. That's right. They referenced it in there. I forgot about that. When he was talking to that Colonel guy or whatever.
Okafor.
Yeah, Okafor, a.k.a. John Locke. I love watching...
Okafor is the other guy.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, no, but he was talking to John Locke.
Locke. Yeah. I forgot his name. Anyway, I love watching Mama Michonne in this episode. What?
General Beale.
General Beale. There you go. Thank you.
Sorry, Gypsy. I am respecting what you're saying. I just forgot.
No, I'm glad you said it. I love watching Mama Michonne in this episode. She has the perfect combination of comfort and advice through story here. I truly think if Michonne hadn't been in his life, Carl would have become someone else entirely. Traumatizing. Ooh, that's interesting to think about. Rick's instincts in this episode get me. He clocks the details that matter and is so quick on his feet. I can already hear Renee hooting and hollering about Rick in this episode. And you know what? It's damn well deserved here. The hiding of the weapons bag is so smart. And I can't wait for Carol to show up soon. The flashbacks give us a lot. Oh, the weapons bag. Is that the same gun bag from the pilot? I wonder.
No, it's a different bag.
It's a different one. Oh.
I had a look. It's a blue one, I think.
The flashbacks give us a lot of heartache with Herschel and Beth, as well as the whole group, and thinking about how everything fell apart. This episode is really a deep dive into Carl's experience and how the poor dude is just struggling. Yeah, he feels like he's a monster, which is confusing for him because sometimes he needs to be. And of course, he's having to watch his father be a monster occasionally too. Alas, no counselors in the apocalypse, except for Michonne. Oh, what a marvelous world it could have turned into if the folks at AMC weren't such bitch babies about paying Chandler Riggs the adult money he eventually deserved.
Yeah.
Truth. Gotta go. Crying over Carl now and forever.
I mean, always.
Yep.
Always. Never not crying about Carl.
Preach it.
Yeah.
Okay. What? And then we have our coup de grace, the call from Renee.
Renee.
Hi, Jason. Hi, Lucy. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. Okay, this episode here, when they show Herschel, I'm like, what the heck
You and us both.
is going on? And then I realized Herschel is Rick's conscience. Whenever Rick does something he thinks is too savage, I truly believe he thinks about Herschel, how Herschel brought him back from the edge, and then in turn he brought Carl back. But to me, I didn't see anything wrong with what Rick did. Rick did what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to bite the hell out of Joe because he was saving his son and his future wife. And I know this is the episode that Michonne fell in love with Rick. This is the moment, because how could you not? And speaking of Michonne, I hate how she is always getting beat up. Michonne is not a freaking man. I don't care how badass she is. I really want to see Michonne in her soft girl era, because I just don't like that. And Daryl, it's like, Daryl, didn't I tell your ass to run away from them folks like the damn gingerbread man? Why were you still rolling with those psychopaths? You see how fast they turned on you. They didn't live by no damn code. People like that are grateful that there's no law and order system, so they can do whatever the hell they want. It makes my skin crawl to know that if a ZA broke out, we would not just have to worry about whatever caused the ZA. We will also have to worry about crazy, deranged people like the Claimers and the Termite crew. Those dirty, trifling, nasty Claimers, they were already animals before the world went to hell. You don't just wake up one morning and become a damn rapist, pedophile, and murderer. Hell no. They was like that from the beginning. The ZA just gave them a free pass. They horrible. They disgusting. It's beyond my comprehension that people can just be that cruel and that evil. And it's with Rick and Michonne, you know, I'm on Rashawn watch. I told y'all that. I'm checking for Rashawn and see when did that spark kick in. And for me, it's from the beginning. And then when they was on the track and she said, I'm okay because you're okay, it's like, listen, Michonne stood by Rick when he was at his lowest, unlike Lori, who backed away from him when he told her about killing Shane. Folks always says because Carl had to put Shane down. No, she was acting funny before that. And even if that was the case, like, why would she be mad because he saved his daddy? And Rick forgave her ass for sleeping with his best friend and getting pregnant by his best friend. She should have extended him the same grace. Like, I just don't like that. And Rick Grimes, that man is gangster. Like, straight gangster. Because listen, baby, in the ZA, you cannot be soft and fragile. It will get you killed. That's why Rick and Michonne work so good together, because they respect each other's gangster. And I love them for that. I love that for them. I'm telling you. Rick, he is so smart and tactical, man. That man, officer senses always kick in. That man knew to hide the guns. He knew not to walk through the front gate. I mean, Rick Grimes, he do not play. That man stands on business, and I love that about him. Like, Rick Grimes is straight freaking gangster, and his walk, that man got to walk out of this world. Like, Rick Grimes, oh, man, I'm telling you, man, Rick Grimes, that's all I can say is Rick Grimes, Rick Grimes, Rick Grimes. My man, my man, my man. Rick Grimes say, do not come for me unless I call you. Rick Grimes say they gonna feel real stupid when they find out what? They screwing with the wrong people. Now, I actually saw the version where Rick said effing with the wrong people, which sounds much better when you talk about crazy ass folks like the termites. And it's like, the way they throw the F-bomb around now on The Walking Dead, like, they never used to, you never heard curse words like that, but it's like, no holds barred now. You can say it, anybody can say it, you can say it as many times as you want to. And Rick Grimes, listen, that man is the epitome of a Southern man. That man got a smooth walk, he growls when he talk, he ain't afraid of no hard work, he gonna raise them kids, he don't care if they not his. He is the epitome of a Southern man. That's my type. Peace and love. Bye.
Oh,
That's great
Renee.
to talk about it. Rick Grimes.
Amazing.
Cool.
I love it. I could listen all day. So good.
All right, that is our show, episode 662. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. That's 4 seasons down, 7 more to go.
Bloody hell, we're not even halfway. That's amazing.
I think you came in as host. You were subbing in season 9 a lot, and then became permanent in somewhere in 10. So if we do make it that far into it to where you already podcasted on episodes, do you think it'll be, how do you think that'll be for you?
I'll be like, full circle moment. I'll just cease to exist. I'll be like, boom, life purpose completed. Bye. It'd be great. It'll be really cool. It'll be like time travel.
I mean, I thought about whether I wanted to go back and listen to my podcasts earlier as we went through this, and I decided not to. I've only listened to a couple, mostly because of time, really, but also I don't want to color my opinion. But I know that I've probably had a lot of the same things to say, but also new things that I didn't think of before.
Right.
And it's been fun to see what new things I would see in it and everything. So maybe you'll have some of that too.
Ecstatic when Lance Hornsby turns up again. Like,
I know, it'll be exactly
there's an
the
estate
same.
agent in the town where I live that is run by a Hornsby, and every time I see one of the signs on a building, I'm like, no, there he is.
Well, next episode will be The Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 1, No Sanctuary.
No big deal, just a regular episode. Nothing to talk about. If you want to write in or leave us a voice message about it, I'm sure you don't. You can find all our contact information at podcastica.com.
Yep, and by the time you hear this, we will have recorded it already, but you can still send in stuff if you want. And while you're at podcastica.com, please check out our other podcasts. By the time you're hearing this, Randy Kerr and I should have also recorded our Wax Episodic episode on Aliens, the 1986 action James Cameron sequel to Alien. So I'm sure that was great. And I highly recommend checking that out as we head into Alien Earth, which is coming out real soon now. I guess it'll be in about a week when you're hearing this.
I'm so sorry that Randy's still going to be looking for me, so probably not going to make it.
He's not going to make it, so it'll just be me and Kara. Oh, well.
I might bail him out. I don't know. I'd have to. We'll see. Like, I'm quite busy. I've got stuff.
Maybe you should kidnap him and put him in your trunk just for a twist.
Yeah, I could.
That would be fun. This episode's been made possible by Patreon supporters like Beth Pieri, who've pledged their support at patreon.com/Jason Kabassi. So thank you to Beth. One thing, I don't think I've announced this anywhere yet, but my plan is to do the upcoming HBO show Welcome to Derry only on Patreon, to cover that only on Patreon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm going to try that because I'm trying to figure out ways to, bring more people in on Patreon. So also, I think I'm going to be upping the Patreon prices. I know I've been saying that, but I think that's going to happen fairly soon. So get in now